Hey, how you doing? Sonic Adventure is one of my favorite Sonic games of all time. But why? What makes it so good? What makes it better than the rest? Well, because of one simple mechanic. Momentum. Recently, momentum has been a popular topic within the Sonic community, so I saw it as fitting to talk about this since there are a lot of Sonic fans who don't particularly understand what makes a momentum-based gameplay so fun. And there's nothing inherently wrong about that since momentum was only the focus for two 3D Sonic games. But these two Sonic games are some of the most influential games in the franchise. Some hold these games in such high regard that it could be considered the only time Sonic has worked in 3D. I personally think that's a dumb mindset, but I'm not here to argue that. As the saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire. For there to be such a massive crowd wishing for momentum to return to Sonic, there has to be a plausible reason for that. They can't just be written off by being called nostalgia blind, which is exactly what I'm talking about today. I want to show you why people fell in love with momentum. And in order to do that, all I have to do is analyze a level from Sonic Adventure that not many people really think about or go back to. It's sort of forgotten in a way. But I assure you, it is the best level in the game, no cap. Red Mountain from Sonic Adventure. Now, some of you may be scratching your head right now, so let me give you some context before you destroy me. And trust me, everything I talk about in this section will be important to this level. To understand this level, we have to talk about momentum. As many people know, both Sonic Adventure games share the momentum game mechanics, except it's a lot more in depth than you may have thought. Let's get the basics out of the way first. When playing as Sonic, you control it in a similar way to the classic Sonic games. When moving around as Sonic, you kinda just start off with a slow walk as it progressively turns into running over time. This is how Sonic controls normally, and there's nothing out of the ordinary here. However, where momentum starts kicking in is when Sonic starts traveling across different types of terrain or level geometry. Say for example, Sonic is moving on a solid flat ground, he will run at a consistent speed. But if Sonic is running down an incline or a downhill slope, he picks up speed and begins to go much faster. Once again, this is similar to how Sonic controls in the classic Sonic games. Now, all this momentum mumbo jumbo, it's all fine and dandy. It is pretty satisfying to build up speed with Sonic just from knowing these basics. But where the fun really lies with momentum is all in the hands of Sonic's Spin Dash. The Spin Dash is the most important aspect of Sonic's moveset in both Sonic Adventure games, and that is because it single-handedly gives these simple levels a great amount of depth. You see, the Spin Dash is essentially a slingshot. When you start charging one up, it builds up a lot of power which upon release will make Sonic travel at very high speeds. Now, as you can imagine, this can be greatly useful when used on specific terrain. For example, if you were to perform a spin dash jump off of an upward slope, you would go absolutely flying in the air, which is very useful for manipulating the level design of these levels to be in your favor. Use spin dash off of slopes to generally move faster, reach different pathways, or even outright skip a part of the level. And this is all intentional, by the way. The developers knew what they were doing. That's why you can find hidden goodies in some areas, such as the top of the building in the beginning of Speed Highway. You, as a player, are supposed to take advantage of momentum. Now, with all of this in mind, the fun you can get from using momentum does depend on which Sonic Adventure game you're playing. While both Sonic Adventure games have the same momentum mechanics, both are played in vastly different ways. In Sonic Adventure 2, you're meant to use momentum to keep propelling Sonic forward in the linear level structure, while momentum in the first Sonic Adventure was used to reach different pathways or skip sections of the level entirely in these open playground designed levels. For this video, I'm mainly going to be focusing on the first Sonic Adventure because not only does it have a greater emphasis on momentum, but it's also the better game. Sorry, I don't make the rules here. To understand why Sonic Adventure's gameplay is so good, let's take a look at Red Mountain, the magnum opus of momentum-based Sonic gameplay. Red Mountain from Sonic Adventure took the level design philosophy and created a level that nailed the execution on every single dang aspect. Firstly, the level alone without using the spin dash is just as interesting as any other level. There's plenty of different pathways to take, and it's well balanced in its difficulty. You do typically run into the occasional annoying enemy, but the stage isn't annoyingly difficult in any way, shape, or form. It's actually kind of easy. Also, I haven't even mentioned how the music just slaps, especially on the second half of the level once you reach the inside of the volcano. This one track will make anyone love the OST for this game. It is, so good. However, what makes this level greater than the rest of the levels in this game is the amount of opportunities there are to manipulate the level design through the use of momentum. Sure, Emerald Coast and Speed Highway has some pretty cool skips and tricks, but in Red Mountain, not a single second passes by without me using the spin dash on some kind of terrain so I can keep progressing through the level. You know, I'm actually gonna walk you through the level and show you all my favorite skips in this level. Right at the beginning of the level, you can find this little bridge area, which you can normally just walk across and hit the button to release a rocket. Or, you could spin dash jump across and instantly land on the button. And if you're feeling extra dicey, you can even spin dash jump from the button to the rocket. That right there already saves you about 10 to 13 seconds that it would take for you to walk around the bridge. Like, nobody wants to do that. Just spin dash jump, it is much more satisfying and fun. Not long after that, you'll hit a spring and then you can land next to this other bridge area. And upon reaching the other side of the bridge, you can spin dash up this slope to land on top of a mountain, to which you'll find a bunch of hidden goodies to grab. There's also a spring on top of the mountain which sends you straight into the next mountain of the level. Oh, and then you have this section. You see this section in the level where Sonic has to jump on a bunch of platforms? Yeah, you don't have to do that, just spin dash jump, I'm telling you. Oh boy, look, a homing attack chain? Yeah, you could go and homing attack all of those enemies, but why? Why would you even do that? Especially when you can just easily spin dash jump past it all. Okay, so for this next section, if you want to complete the level fast, you could take the light speed dash here and skip the section of the level where you climb the mountain. But if you do decide to climb the mountain the traditional way, not only can you roll down the side of the mountain to go really fast, but you can also just skip the monkey bar section entirely by spin dash jumping over the lava pit. That's pretty cool if you ask me. Once you're inside the volcano, you can spin dash down this narrow hallway section because it consists of a lot of hills that you can roll down. You can also spin dash jump off of this ramp to get the speed shoes so you can go even faster, which, you know, that's pretty neat. Next, you have these platforms right here that normally casuals would jump on to get across the lava. But once again, you can just spin dash jump across all of these platforms, even the rocks that are falling into the lava. You can just spin dash jump across those too. Then you have this section right here where Sonic can use the light speed dash to get across his trail rings. You could do that, but come on, you're not gonna do that. You already know what's about to happen. You can just spin dash jump across that once again. Which, I mean, you guys should already know about this trick in the level because who even likes the light speed dash from Sonic Adventure? It's too slow. I just want to get right to it. And finally, once you reach the last hallway, there is a slope right before the first flamethrower trap. You can spin dash jump on that slope to jump over the first trap without getting hit. Now, there is one more skip I know, but technically it is a glitch and it's not really a good use of momentum. You can charge up a light speed dash and then just go up this trail rings here and it'll make the lava come up sooner, which, you know, that's pretty neat to do on, you know, speedruns the level, but it's kind of breaking the game and it has nothing to do with momentum, so I didn't really include it. But if you want a really neat reason to replay this level, go ahead and do it. It's an awesome glitch. Now, with that said, that is all of the tricks that I like to do in this level. I'm more than sure that there are plenty of more ways to manipulate this level design that I don't even know of. That's the beauty of Sonic Adventure's level design, and you can see the best example of it in this level. Considering all of the skips I've just talked about, it really puts into perspective just how brilliantly designed the first Sonic Adventure's difficulty really was. It has a similar philosophy to Super Mario Odyssey in the sense that this level is not very hard at all. Like, realistically, you could just hold forward and power through the enemies without breaking a sweat. It's not hard at all. But for players who want a more challenging experience and want something to master, you can really manipulate just about every section of the stage and complete it with an impressively short amount of time. I actually kind of wanted to prove a point with this video. I ran a test here just to see how high the skill ceiling was. I played the level like a casual player just a few times and I picked the best score out of all of them. I just held forward and took the default path. I took a couple hits and whatnot. I basically simulated the typical experience you'd find from a first-time playthrough of this level. I finished the level at 3 minutes, 52 seconds, and 55 milliseconds. Not a terrible time, but it could definitely be better. Next, I played the level with the knowledge I have for manipulating slopes and whatnot, and I ended up completing the level in around 2 minutes and 6 seconds with 15 milliseconds. Now, keep in mind that I'm not the greatest Sonic Adventure player. I'm pretty dang good at the game, but you won't find me doing a speedrun anytime soon. Regardless of how garbage I am at the game, that is almost a 2-minute time difference, and all I did was just remove my use of momentum. Now, when a stage has a skill ceiling like that, there's nothing quite as rewarding as mastering it. The only critique I could honestly give to this stage is the fact that Sonic Adventure doesn't have a ranking system. There's an A-rank mission, but that doesn't really give you the same amount of satisfaction that, say, Sonic Unleashed or Sonic Adventure 2 gives you upon mastering a stage. Now, just imagine for a second if Sonic Adventure had a ranking system that was very strict, similar to how Crash collects keys in the Crash Bandicoot games. What if, in order to get an A rank or an S rank, you quite literally have to complete this level by the skin of your teeth? That would be the perfect cherry on top of this level. In fact, it would be the perfect cherry on top for Sonic Adventure as a whole, because the rest of the stages are designed just like Red Mountain. They're just not as impressively designed. Red Mountain literally has you using momentum at every moment of the stage. I'm just saying, if they ever remake these games, I hope they give Sonic Adventure the Crash Bandicoot ranking system treatment, because that would just complement Red Mountain so well. Like, imagine if, in order to get an S rank, you had to complete the level in under 2 minutes. I didn't even get under 2 minutes when recording this video. Imagine having to grind to get good enough at the game to speedrun this level that fast. That is just what I want so badly for Sonic Adventure and why I love momentum so much for this game. Momentum is so simple, but also so intricate at the same time. It's so much fun to speedrun these games, especially Sonic Adventure 1. I mean, no shade to Sonic Adventure 2 though. So this was kind of like a double whammy of a video. We got to talk about why momentum is such a great game mechanic for Sonic, and we also got to talk about why Red Mountain is a masterpiece of a Sonic level. And with that said, if we could get another Sonic Adventure game in the future that has the same detailed and carefully crafted level design as Red Mountain, I think we'll have a peak Sonic game on our hands. Especially if the game is designed up to modern standards with better collision and more polish. Who knows, maybe the sequel to Sonic Frontiers could be an entire open world built around these momentum mechanics. Now if that happened, that would actually be peak, let's be honest here. Either way, I hope this video taught you something about the momentum-based mechanics and gave you a new perspective on an underrated level from Sonic Adventure. And if it did, then I think I did a good job. Alright, bye. My channel members are GamerBlick90, Fear the Red Chicken, Reese, Nix, JNXV, EthanK78, Junyan Ring, SonicMan715, ArcherXYZ, Sonic Up, Thomas Winterai, Chip Chip Chopscape, the Squeaker Nerd, Super Shax, Boom, Sonic Extreme, and Super Saiyan Sonic. Thank you all for supporting the channel. Make sure to click one of the in-card stream videos here. Love you guys. Peace out.